When it comes to starting your ideas in your business or your expansion, you may have a ton of ideas, but all you need is one good one that's going to light your path. But how do you know which idea to use? Or maybe you're having a hard time just coming up with ideas. You know you want to start a business, or you know that you want to change your business or achieve some specific goal, but you're not sure what it is that you need to do. Maybe you want to open a tattoo shop, open a coffee shop, maybe a petting zoo. Maybe you want to expand your business. In this module, we'll discuss how to generate and narrow down business ideas and solutions. So how do you come up with ideas and solution? It's called idea generation. There are several types of idea generation, and each of them is designed to help harness some great ideas and solutions. In fact, there's so many types of idea generation that there's no way that we can cover them all in this 8-week class. First, do not fall in love with your idea. I know it's so hard to see outside of our bubble, and just because it's something that you're in love with doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that will be successful. And so because of this, it's important, particularly in idea generation, as part of your feasibility study, to do the research and make sure that there is a strong, stable market for whatever your idea is. First, you're going to start with an internal and external analysis. Within this, we're going to see an inside-out analysis. Basically, you're going to look internally at yourself. You're going to look at your own competencies. What are you good at? What do you have to offer? What are your skills? What are you interested in? So you'll look at yourself and what you're great at, and then look for new products or services that you can develop and offer to consumers. Next, you'll look at outside-in analysis. So basically, you'll look at items that are already in the market or services that are already in the market. And then you'll identify some of the downfalls of those products. How can you make them better? And then relate those to your capabilities of what are you good at? What are you strong at? This next section, we're going to focus on methods of idea generation, starting with our internal analysis. We've all heard that if you're doing what you love, you'll never work a day in your life. So for this first generator idea, we're going to have you ask yourself some questions. And go ahead and write them down. How do you like to spend your free time? If you won the lottery, what would you do? What do you like to read? What would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail? The idea here is to think big. What would be your biggest dream that would make you the happiest? Once you have a list or an answer to all of these questions, these are your areas of interest. Circle your top 2. So for example, for me, how do I like to spend my free time? I love spending time with my family. If I won the lottery, I would do nothing but travel. I don't even think I would own a home. I would just travel the globe. What do you like to read? I love reading Business Insider. What would you do if you knew you wouldn't fail? If I knew I wouldn't fail, I would open a nonprofit in conservation in order to help animals. Of all of those answers, my top 2 would be spending time with my family and traveling the world. So this gives me 2 directions that I can go with some of my internal evaluation or internal analysis of things that I love or things that I'm interested in. So it gives me a starting point. Another way that you can do this is just by listing off some of your interests and your passions. So here I have that I love the ocean, and I love boats, and I love meeting new people, and as I said, I love to travel. I love arts and museums. I love playing with my daughter. I love a good beer, and I also love a really good wine. So these are some of my interests and my passions. So write down some of yours. So now that we have a list of the things that we are interested in or passionate about, from here, we want to list in detail what it takes to participate in that activity. So what exactly do you need to do, or need to bring to participate. You also want to list any of the barriers that tend to keep people from participation. These are called pain points. So for example, if I used the example of I love going to the ocean, the steps that I need is to get there. I need to bring all of the beach stuff. There's a lot of stuff when you have a 2-year-old. You play in the water and, it's all about having a good time. So those are the steps. You've got to get there, bring your stuff, and then go play and have fun. The pain points is that you need to physically get to the beach. You have to find a parking spot, which we all know is a pain. You need to locate a good spot. So maybe it's on a busy weekend and you might have to, fight for a good spot. Your beach stuff, you actually have to purchase it. So you need to purchase chairs, shelter, toys. You need to bring snacks and body boards or, things for the kids to do in the water. For playing in the water, you purchase all of your surf stuff and you need sunblock and paddle boards and all of those things. So those are some of the pain points. If we use the example of I love art, the steps are to locate cool and unique paintings to view or look for new museums. And so I'm going to have to do the research and get on Google or Google Maps. And then you actually have to get there. So you have to go and spend time at the museum. The pain points are actually physically doing the research. It takes time. Once you do know where to go, you have to get the people in your family to be excited to go too. Not everyone in my family loves art as much as I do. And so these are some of the pain points of getting there and participating. Now that we have our list done with all of our pain points and all of our steps, we want to look at the ones that are the most painful points. What is the worst part? And these are going to represent a customer need. When going to the beach, when going to the ocean, we all have a hard time finding parking. We all have a hard time finding a good location on the beach. It is time consuming and sometimes expensive to purchase, surfboards or body boards or paddle boards. And that can get very expensive, particularly if you're not going to the beach all of the time. Taking my family to the museums, them moaning and groaning about how long is this gonna be, is definitely a major pain point because I just want to experience and love the artwork, and I would love if they loved it as much as I did too. And I'm sure there's something in your life that you're really interested in that you wish your family was also interested in too. So those are my top 3 most painful points. So take a moment, pause the video, look back on your list, and circle your top pain points because these are going to correlate, as I said before, to customer needs. From looking at my pain points, I can come up with a few really good business ideas. So first, maybe I could provide a beach concierge service for oceanside beach visitors. My service would locate and reserve a good spot for them, provide them with chairs, towels, toys, food, etc. And this is going to combine my pain points 1 and 2. So now they're not having to worry about lugging all that stuff around or purchasing all that stuff. They just show up and they have a good time. Second idea would be to rent paddle and surfboards. I could even provide surf lessons or guided paddle tours. So again, it's cutting down on them having to go out, go to the store, purchase those paddle boards, and try and figure out how to surf or paddleboard on their own. And so that's going to be my pain point number 2. Now, for my art pain point, maybe I could create a podcast for children focusing on art appreciation. Each week, I could identify one famous painting and discuss it in a manner that appeals to small kids. So, for example, we could focus on the Mona Lisa and talk about the funny things like she has no eyebrows, and when you get closer to her, it looks like she's smiling even bigger. So, depending on what angle you're looking at her from, it's going to change what her expression is like. So, as you can see, Based off my pain points, I've already generated 3 different business ideas that could be viable. For generator number 2, we want to solve a problem. So this is where our external analysis comes in. So have you ever been frustrated by a product? Or better yet, the product you're looking for doesn't exist at all. Spend a day looking for pain points. As you go through your day, ask yourself, what could be better about this product or this service? While looking at my own life, I realized that there were pain points in my everyday life as well. So for example, I want you to meet Mia. Mia is my friend's dog that we happen to be babysitting. And right now she's saying, I wish I could go for a walk right now because Mia loves walks. The problem is that while we're on walks, Mia obviously needs to use the restroom. Once she's done using the restroom, that means that we are left to carry around her bag of poo until we find a trash can to throw it in, or we have to bring it back home. We could always tie it to her leash, but then that's not really a solution. And so we went in search of something better. And so we headed on our way to Petco. Fortunately, Petco yields nothing. There's no particular place to stash your bag of dog poo. I know it sounds weird, but it's a real struggle. It's a pain point for sure. So here's a new business idea for a solution to this. A harness or a dog collar that holds poop until it can be properly disposed of. Idea generator number 3 is to utilize your own experience. From here, you're going to make a list of your most recent employers. For every single company that you worked for, you want to identify pain points related to the product, the service, or the process. Now ask yourself, what did employees or customers dislike about this product, about the service, or about the process? And these are your opportunities to create new business ideas or to modify business solutions. So let's use Maria's Mexican cuisine as an example for our experience, our work experience. So service provided, they serve traditional Mexican dishes in a fine dining environment, and they provide excellent top-of-the-line service. Some of the pain points associated with the products and service is customers enjoyed the food, it was absolutely delicious, but it wasn't healthy. The other thing that they would complain about was not necessarily about Maria's Mexican cuisine service, but other service in the area, that they just couldn't find that type of service anywhere else. So from here, we want to focus on the fact that Maria's Mexican cuisine had delicious food, but that they wanted healthier versions. We also want to focus on the fact that they provided excellent service. So what ideas can we come up with based off these 2 parameters? We now know that there is a need for fresh and healthy Mexican food, and we also know that there's a need for a service training consultant for the other restaurants in the area. We also have the experience now to provide both of those business ideas. This is one way that we can look at business idea generation, is by looking at our own personal experiences and the skills that we have to make those ideas come to fruition. You may have heard the phrase, imitation is the best form of flattery. For generator number 4, you want to recycle an idea from another location. Have you ever come across a business or idea that meets a need your community might have? In this idea generator, we're going to identify a company or an idea. We're going to identify the concept and need being filled, and we're going to determine the market viability in your area. For example, in Belgium, they have this really amazing restaurant called a soup lounge. If we were to look at this, it's a great concept in the fact that soup is a comfort food. So there's a lot of people who are genuinely seeking out having an item like soup. If we were to recycle the idea and bring it here to Southern California, we could put our own spin on it and potentially add an idea like Chipotle to the mix. So now we have the soup lounge idea of a restaurant that's solely soup, but you can come in and add your own ingredients like Chipotle. So each bowl of soup is individual to each person's needs. This is what recycling is all about. Another business concept can be recycled based on the rooftops in Europe. So in Europe, there are a lot of rooftop hangout areas or rooftop decks, just like there are here in Southern California. Now, in order to protect their privacy, they have very specialized blinds called European blinds that pull down to cover the entire window. This concept allows for them not only to protect their privacy, but these shutter blinds and shades are going to stop the summer's heat before entering the home. So it keeps houses cooler, they're more energy efficient, and they protect your privacy. This is definitely something that we could use here in Southern California. Here is a recycling idea in action. So the original bicycle-powered pub tour was from Berlin. And now we see them sprouting up all over in downtown San Diego as a very successful business venture. So, as you can see, recycling an idea can definitely be something that is profitable, viable, and successful. Let's talk about our last generator. So this is generator number 5, leveraging your major. Obviously, you're going to school for a reason, and it's so that you can learn different skill sets for your future. Do you know what entrepreneurial opportunities are available to students in your major? For example, as an English major, you have all types of opportunities which include writing, editing, and also tutoring services. If you're a sociology major, you can start a business through research, organizing, or advocacy-based services. If you don't know, you can talk to your favorite faculty member or any faculty member, the Career Center, or you can contact the professional association related to your major. They will all be absolutely willing to help you come up with some ideas that are fitting to the skills that you're learning in school. So now we've compiled this list. Just in this video, we've come up with 10 different business ideas. But how do I evaluate? We need to narrow this down to just one. So what is it that I'm looking for in order to pick the best option for my new business idea? In order to evaluate and narrow down all of our amazing business ideas, we are going to ask ourselves a few questions about each business idea and give them a score rating. So first, we want to clearly describe the idea in 5 sentences or less. We don't need to score this part. After that, we're going to identify the compelling need that is not currently being met. We're going to describe the target market. So who are we trying to sell this item or service to? Is the idea exciting and interesting to you? And then we want to put together our total score. So let's see this in action. When evaluating my beach concierge idea, to clearly describe it, it's going to be provide the beach concierge service for oceanside beach visitors. My service would locate and reserve a good spot, provide chairs, towels, toys, food, and anything that will allow families to just show up and enjoy the beach. You don't have to put a rating here, just as a reminder. Next, we want to identify the compelling need that is not currently being met. So there are lots of vendors out at the beach and oceanside that provide chairs or surfboards and some toy rentals. But there isn't currently a business that provides a one-stop shopping service that includes the ability to have a spot reserved on the beach and all of the equipment. As a compelling need, this would get an 8 out of 10. Next, you want to describe the target market. So my target market for beach concierge would be families and larger groups visiting the beach and oceanside. They obviously don't want to waste their valuable vacation time on purchasing all these items and finding a good spot. And so for this, I'm giving our target market an 8 out of 10. Is the idea exciting and interesting to you? Yes, I like meeting people and I like making them happy. I'm also interested in this because I don't think it would cost much to start. All I would need to do is buy the materials, and no one else is currently doing it. So this hasn't been done on our beach here before. And so for this, I'm scoring this idea a 9 out of 10. So overall, my total score for this idea is 25. You'll then want to repeat that process with each individual idea that you have or each concept you have. Once you've rated each one of your ideas, you want to pick out the most desirable ones. So the ones with the highest points, which should be sitting in a rating point between 25 and 30. Those top ideas merit further investigation. Once you have your top 1 through 3, definitely review those ones again, reevaluate them, and make sure that you still feel the same. This is going to narrow it down until you have one viable idea that you can then further research and one that you'll be excited about. Once we've narrowed our business ideas down to just one, you want to dig deeper. From here, we're going to discuss how to investigate compelling ideas. Is an idea a good investment opportunity is the very first question that you need to ask yourself. The way to answer this question is by looking at market factors. Is there a clear need for the product or service? And is the timing right? So, do people want this product or do they need this product or service? What is your competitive advantage? How are you going to compete with other businesses in the market? So, can the proposed business achieve a durable and sustainable competitive advantage? The definition of a competitive advantage is a benefit that exists when a firm has a product or service that is seen by its target market as better than those of its competitors. So, again, how are you going to be better than your competition? You also want to look at the economics. Is the venture financially rewarding and does it have a significant profit and growth potential? So, obviously, the idea of going into business is that you want to create some sort of profit. Is there a way for you to continue to grow your business and for you to start making money with your business? Is there a good fit between your skills, your knowledge, and the opportunity? Do you have the skill set to be able to pull off this concept or business idea? Or do you have a team in mind that would be able to help you pull off this opportunity? Are there any fatal flaws that could make this venture unsuccessful? So, looking at my beach concierge theme, is there a potential for the city of Oceanside to ban me from doing something like that? Since it is a public beach, do I need a permit? Will they allow for me to have a permit of that nature? This could potentially be a fatal flaw that'll make my venture unsuccessful. Lastly, before jumping in head first, you need to ask yourself the following questions. Am I capable of doing this? Basically, is this business appropriate for my knowledge, skills, and abilities? Have I explored all ideas? So did I look at all of my ideas and make sure that this is the most fitting idea? Did I look into all of the different needs within my business idea? Do I need to refine my business idea? Do I need to change my concept just a little bit to make it more marketable? What is going to set me apart from the competition? This is a big one. There's a lot of businesses and services out there. How are you going to make yourself better than your competition? How easy is it for someone else to start the same type of business? So, are there going to be more competitors entering into the market? These are all questions that you need to ask yourself before taking the plunge into your new business idea. Here are some useful resources for you. You can also contact your instructor or any of the faculty members within the business and career department. Any of them would love to help you, so you have lots of different outlets of where you can find some advice or some guidance. Good luck with your business idea generation. Feel free to reach out if you have questions.